Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to AFM Revision Bootcamp. I am your facilitator Hussain Qazi, and the particular agenda or particular purpose of this complete AFM Revision Bootcamp is actually to provide the right direction for the revision of AFM. You people know that today is 17th of Feb and you people almost have 25 days remaining for the exam, 23 to 25 days. That's 11th of March, Friday will be the day for your exam. And with these sessions, we will actually determine the right direction to meet the examiner expectation. Candidates, do remember the very important statement of my side. The success of AFM exam is based on two things. Number one, good enough knowledge of entire syllabus. Number two, AFM exam technique. If you have good enough knowledge and you don't have exam techniques to meet the examiner expectation, you will not able to qualify. And if vice versa, if you have exam technique but not good enough knowledge of the entire syllabus, you will not be able to qualify the exam. So two important things. Good enough knowledge of entire syllabus. Good enough means it's not compulsory that you are a master of all the things. No, but good enough knowledge of entire syllabus. Number two, good exam technique. In these sessions, we will discuss the good exam techniques with respect to the calculation, with respect to the theoretical aspect as well. Sometimes students not actually accepting the reality of the exam. So with this sessions, we will of course discuss something what is the reality of the exam, and you people by deliberate or by mistake ignoring that particular aspects of reality. For example, this AFM exam is the balance of theory and calculation. You have to develop your mind that almost 60% of your time, with the exam or the 60% of the requirement of the exam belongs to theoretical area, and 40 to 45% that's about calculation. So number one thing, you must have to ask yourself, till 17th Feb, have you prepared your studies with this balance aspect? Of course, if the answer is not, then it's a very alarming situation. That you have to revise, you have to strategy to make a revision with that balanced strategy. That is the one thing. Another important thing, that have you ever simulate the exam of AFM? Simulate the exam means practice the exam according to the marking standard and according to the time management. If the answer is no, then the alarming situation. If these two are alarming situations for you, that you haven't balanced the things accordingly and you haven't simulated the exam till now, you have still time, 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks to cover up these things. So here with these sessions are not conventional like practice sessions. It's not just about the take out the question of the practice and work out accordingly. No. These sessions are not conventionally like the practice session. No, these sessions include the practice the things with the realizing the reality of the exam. that if you are a student with what technique you have to attempt the exam, how many things you have to focus before the exam related to theory and the calculation. And we will discuss with these sessions with the exam questions as well the examiner report to identify the mistakes the previous student have done and what was the examiner expectation. And if you still with the preparation with that particular mistakes where examiner highlighting the issue, so that is also the alarming point for you people, and you have to cope up the things where I can say that we will revise, we will consider the or we will focus the examiner roadmap here, sorry, examiner report here to bridging the gap. Bridging the gap means your preparation and examiner expectation with the examiner report, identify the gap, and then in future, by the next revision days, you have to practice the things to bridge that gap. The mistake the student have done, what were the examiner expectations, you have to bridge that thing and work out accordingly. Do remember that. Do remember that. With these remaining 3 weeks, your target for the quality revision, not the quantity of the revision. Quality means whatever the direction I will provide to you and whatever the direction I have provided with the December 21 P2P sessions. You can watch my December 21 ACCA platform P2P sessions. Whatever the guideline I have discussed previous and these sessions, you have to list down that particular guidelines and then apply that particular guideline with the exam papers. What exam papers? From September 18 to December 21, whatever the published exams available with the ACCA platform, you have to apply that technique accordingly. Focus on quality, not the quantity. Whatever the topic you have done with your mentors, you have to revise the topics, number 1. And number 2, simulate the exam questions September 18 to December 21 exams. So this should be your roadmap towards the revision. So number 1, the first thing, balance your studies with calculation and theory, number 1. Number 2, second important thing, exam simulate. Means quality practice with the CB format. Compare your questions with the solutions and keep moving from September 18 to December 21. That's a key point. Now start with what is the specific agenda for the today's session. With today's session, we will discuss what will be the right quality revision direction for you people. Number 1, highlighting important issues. Number 2, we will work out with one CB format latest exam question that's ACCA published recently just a month ago, December 21. We will work out for that particular 50 marks question with that particular 50 marks question. And we not just attempt with 50 marks question with the CB format, but also read some important things that highlighted by the examiner with the examiner report, December 21 examiner report, where examiner mentioned that what was my expectation and what actually student has done. So that is the gap. And for you people, that gap is actually about bridging the gap towards the revision or remaining days revision. Now, come on, let's start. Number 1, this is my brief profile. My name is Hussain Qazi, having a 15 years of exposure and alhamdulillah workout with the Tabanis School of Accountancy, a platinum status college, and students belong some nation and worldwide position accordingly, not in Pakistan, outside the Pakistan. During office hours, you can approach me through the WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is available, 0092 321 8271784. And you can join the SBR Bootcamp WhatsApp group as well. What are these sessions about? These sessions about, I have already discussed the right directions to identify the examiner mindset and then give the exam accordingly. We will work out with the practice question, of course, drill down the practice to mitigate some misconceptions and myth about the AFM paper workout. In simple points, bridging the gap between examiner expectation and your revision, your preparation. And of course, I will discuss some smart techniques here with my suggested solutions. Suggested solution means the solutions which is equal to the student standard that should appear in the examination hall rather than the model answer. This is what about the bootcamp agenda over the 4 days. Number one, day one, direction for the quality revision and a 50 marks question related to the topic investment appraisal. That's APV topic and some more things. Day two, we will discuss acquisition, mergers, financial reconstruction. And day three, forex and interest, day four, swaps and bond valuation. This is not a very stringent agenda matters. The agenda may be adjusted accordingly based on your feedbacks and based on your working accordingly. There's a very important question a student asked to me, Bilal. Should we focus only the past paper, which you mentioned, or read summaries first and memorize the key terms? Number one, nothing need to memorize anything. No need to memorize anything. Number one. And number two, the AFM exam is actually about the knowledge testing exam. It's nothing about the things related to the bullet points you have to learn. No. Whatever the studies you have done from your mentors, that should be in your mind as a knowledge, not the bullet points, not to memorizing anything. So these are the knowledge you must have in your mind. Here we will discuss, our discussion is primarily based on the past papers, how to handle the paper. This bootcamp is about how to handle the exam. Yes, I said to you that you people have a good enough knowledge about your entire syllabus. For example, if I'm going to start today about the investment appraisal, I will provide a briefing about what knowledge you people must have related to investment appraisal topic. What knowledge you people must have. That's a key point. That's an important point. So this is the important point you need to consider here, okay? So it's not about to memorizing anything or bullet points accordingly. It's about to focus how to apply your knowledge with the particular past paper. That's a key agenda for these particular sessions. Is that clear, Bilal, to you and all of you? Okay, some highlighting points. You people know very well that AFM passing rate is 40%. It's under 40%. Although recently December 21 exam passing rates, it's 41%. But if you average out over the last 8 to 9 attempts, that's about the 40%, under 40%. So the very first thing the very first thing in your mind, that develop a strategy that we are become under that 40%. We have to develop a strategy where we will be a part of that under 40%. So whatever we need to do, we have to do accordingly. That I must be under 40%. So number one, the commitment required, the motivation required, the energy required that you people must have to become part of under 40%. So that's important thing. So first of all, you must have to reply me, are you people really ready? That's are you people really ready to put your efforts, put your hard work by next remaining 3 weeks that you become under 40%? Are you people ready really? Mark my word, just not mentioning yes sir, that's it's not enough. You have to put efforts, you have to put hard work, whatever the suggestion I will provide to you. If you really committed me that yes, that it's nothing means that um, no excuses. It's not about any excuses. It's nothing about whatever the things hard or easy. Huh? If I say you that you have to do that thing by hook and crook, by hook and crook means you have to spend the time accordingly, or you have to practice the thing with the sleepless nights. And whatever I say, if I say something to read it from the article or something from the book that you have to work out on, you must not say um, in with this excuses that it's very difficult or it's something theory. How do I balance? No. So you have to attempt, you have to work out accordingly. That's very much important. So if you really want to be part of under 40%, the very important thing is that the solution is that the quality preparation and the revision. Quality preparation and revision. And the quality preparation and revision is that you have to open your eyes. You have to open your eyes. You have to open your eyes with these things. There are 4 important things required if you really want to get success with the first attempt. Number one, you people have a syllabus of your entire knowledge. Listen one thing very much carefully. Majority of the students with the AFM, majority of the students feel that past paper is my syllabus. Past paper is my syllabus. But this is not the reality. Past paper is not your syllabus. Past paper is just for the practice or simulation. Yes, you can make your perfection from the past paper, but past paper is not the syllabus. First of all, you must have to bear in mind that do you have enough knowledge of the syllabus or entire knowledge of the syllabus? Yes or no? If not, first of all, you have to complete your syllabus knowledge, the first thing, including theory. To my students, I normally recommend the Kaplan study text, and I strongly suggest to read at least 5 to 6 chapters. If you haven't studied that particular 5 to 6 chapters, I will mention with the sessions accordingly. I strongly suggest you have to cover this, either from your notes, from your mentors, whatever, but you have to read it accordingly. Plus other things from the past papers, whatever you have done. So first thing, ask yourself, do you have enough knowledge, complete knowledge of syllabus? Number one, because your examiner examine almost all area of the syllabus with any particular one exam, all area of the syllabus. Your paper nowadays prepared in the sense that one question with 6 syllabus areas. So how it's possible that I'm going to attempt one particular question and out of 6 syllabus areas, I have a command for 4 areas, but 2 areas are missing. So one question is actually incomplete. So number one, syllabus complete knowledge. Number two, smart techniques. What is the meaning of smart techniques? Smart techniques are multiple things required smart techniques, but a very brief one. Smart techniques means how to handle the exam question balanced with theory and calculation. Good practice of calculation and good practice of theory, both are important. That's important. You have to develop the smart technique method by time management, marks management. Means, first of all, you must have to, whenever you are attempting any question, first plan your question. So practice the question with planning. Practice your question with planning, the key component. Rest of the days, on a regular basis, you have to simulate the question, means practice the question like you are sitting in the examination hall. If you feel that I am sitting in the examination hall, then I have to perform the things accordingly. For example, a 25 marks question. You have to practice. Assuming you are sitting in the examination hall. Number one, if you are sitting examination hall, you will perform the things with CB format. So first thing, attempt the question in the CB format. Number two, with any particular question in the examination hall, you have to attempt by hook or crook the calculation and theory. So during practice, you have to attempt both theory and calculation. Majority of the students during practice, what they do normally only calculation. And about the theory, they are least concerned. What they say, we will see the things during examination hall. Are you a Superman or a human being? Even the Superman cannot do that. That I will handle the things theory at the examination hall. No. Have to attempt the question with the practice, CB format, calculation, theory, and time is specific. And time is specific. For 25 marks question, examination hall, you have 45 minutes. So you have to attempt the question with 45 minutes. Check your position. Either I'm able to do with the 45 or not. That's called simulation. On a daily basis, you have to attempt at least one question, either 25 or 50. So it's not a very easy task that you become part of under 40%. But I can assure you, I cannot guarantee you. The human being are not able to guarantee, because human being has a limitation that we cannot actually see the future. But I can assure you, based on my past experience, if students do that, they are able to qualify the exam. Number three, the mock exam and the feedback. From the institute, from the mentors, where you registered with the mentors or the institutes, you have to appear the mock exam and get your feedbacks about the mock. Number three, if your mentor say to you that read the article, read the book point, you have to study that thing at least, because based on that reading, you will be able to develop your mindset according to flexibility. Flexibility means sometime examiner ask to you any one topic for 8 marks. Another exam, same topic, examine with 4 marks. So you must have to develop your ability by reading the book. How much thing you have to write according to the marks. If I have a knowledge, an examiner asks 8 marks, I have to write more. And I have a knowledge and the marks are only 3 or 4, I have to write less. So by reading material, you people actually are able to develop ability of the flexibility. These 4 things are the criteria to become part of that under 40%. Believe me, remaining 3 and 3.5 weeks, if you do that point, you will be able to qualify the exam. I will reply you, Bilal, at the end of the session. Don't worry. You people know very well, there are 5 areas of the syllabus. There are 5 areas of the syllabus. 5 areas. 5 components of the syllabus. Ask yourself, have you already put all the efforts with all these 5 areas? I can bet on it. With you people are least concerned with the section A. But examiner sometime ask with the section A 7 to 8 marks, sometime ask 25 marks. And this A part 100% theory. That's why I strongly suggest to students, you have to read some part from the books, especially with the section A. Especially with the section A. That's a key point. These are the 5 sections. And there are a little bit analysis. There are a little bit analysis about the course. There are 5 areas of the syllabus. Quickly. Examiner, that is from September 18 to September 19. Something. One moment. Yes, that is about September 18 to September 19. That's very important, huh? Examiner asks 100 marks. This is 100 marks. 4 marks compulsory. That's professional marks. And we will discuss here how we will easily get the professional marks. How we will easily get the professional marks. We will get easily the professional 4 marks. I must say these 4 marks are before the exam already in your pockets. In your pockets. It's a free marks. Free 4 professional marks if you just focus the thing. With section A, with report writing, with the 4 free marks. Whenever you are entering the examination hall, you have to prepare your mind. I have already 4 marks. First, I have to put the effort for 46 and then go for distinction. First thing. Number 2, examiner are very much flexible. With September 19, examiner asked 25 marks related to section A. But September 18, examiner asked 31 marks related to that part. And there are a lot of flexibility. And same case, you know very well, advanced investment appraisal. Examiner examined 15 marks to 36 marks. Examiner asked C or D in a one way, one combo, either acquisition, merger, or reorganization. The flexibility is this: 29 to 9 means 38 marks to 19 marks. Treasury management, 14 to 32 marks. Can we predict anything with that analysis? How can you predict something? So why you people are asking that? Sir, some important questions for March 22. How can we predict that? If examiner, this is what the analysis made by me. A lot of flexibility here. Only one thing is constant. And what is this? The professional marks. Rest of the things, we don't know what the examiner will ask. So for God's sake, next 24 days, I don't want that my students or my bootcamp students asking with different groups that give me some important questions. No, there will be no important questions. The important is direction. The important is honesty. The important is accept the reality. This is reality. You people know very well what is the format. I'm not talking about the format. First question 50 marks, rest of the 2 questions 25 multiplied by 2. That's another analysis. Another analysis. This is eye-opening for you. Huh? This is eye-opening for you. That's very much important. So this is what what we already discussed with the first session of AFM, but it's still important for the first session of revision that accept the reality. Means you have to, these last overs, these last 3 weeks, these last moments of the exams, you have to be very much stick your revision according to the examiner expectation. What I said that you have done a very good effort. You have done a very good effort, but it's time to be a good finisher. If you are a good player, if you wanted to good player for the sports, so that's not important what you have done, all the innings. The countable thing is that at the end of the day, how you finish your match. So this is the time to finish your match. Whatever you have done in the past, that's over. The important thing is that how you will finish your match right now. Is this about win or lose? If you really want to become winner, you have to meet the examiner expectation. If I'm going to analyze that particular question, okay, this is September, March, June 21 exam, and today we will discuss September, December 21 exam question. Examiner exactly match with this pattern. The 100 marks question, 4 marks professional, 44 calculation, and 52 theory. Means if you will sit in the examination hall with March 22, you will face almost same situation. That your time will require almost 42, 44, 47% for calculation and almost 50% for theory. Ask yourself, don't reply me. Are you ready for this? If not, this is the time to cover up the things. Whatever you have done with the previous part of the match, that's over. Some part of the match, you have to fine tune your things accordingly. There is no chance to exit now, do or die. That's important. Means under 40% or outside the 40%. So whatever you have done previously, now it's time to put your best effort to become under 40%. With my particular publication of 40%, with my particular publication of AFM Bootcamp, one of the important point I've highlighted, that's the motivation to the students. For any particular project of the life, the motivation is very much important. If you feel any time stress or demoralized, you can coordinate me on the WhatsApp. If I'm not replying you can ask me you can knock me 2 to 3 times accordingly. But don't depress. There is nothing to lose. There is nothing to exit. Only one thing, do your best according to the examiner expectation. Yes, I know that in the life, the hard working is very much important. But the another important thing with the today's world, that's called the smart work. So winner of the match requires hard working plus smart working. But do remember that the smart working you will be able only one way, if you are a hard worker. That's a key point. Experience of the questions creates the mindset how to smartly handle the things. Okay, next thing is the CB format. Another point. This is also a reality. If I say to you that you have to practice the questions from September 18 to December 21. The left side means this part. Go to my ACCA, log in the site, and you will identify that one moment, please. You will identify that with the AFM, sorry, the official resource required past exam library. Past exam library, that's 4 exam papers: March, June 21, September, December 20, and September, December 21. Moreover, some practice questions: AFM practice 1, practice 2, practice 3. Total 6 past papers and 1 specimen. Oh, sorry, 2 specimen. 2 specimen. Basically, this is 1 specimen. And another examiner, 1 more incorporation of the specimen here. So there are total 3, 3, 6 to 8 exam papers. 8 exam paper. 8 exam paper. And this is not relevant for you from January 22. Because the paper structure is now going to change, but this is not relevant for you. This is from September 22 onwards. It's not relevant. Total 7 exam paper relevant for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are 7 papers. Moreover, I strongly suggest that at least 4 more papers, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to attempt. And you have to attempt with this blank format. Blank space. You will identify these 4 papers with the ACCA past paper sections, website, open-ended. And it's good if you are going to attempt with the 5 or 6 2017 exams as well. So if I suggest you that what to do with the rest 24 days, revise your syllabus knowledge and 7 and 6, 7 plus 6 or 7 plus 4, 11 to 13 exams. No need to work out any more questions from anywhere from the revision kit. That's more than enough. That's more than enough. If you really attempt these questions with CB format, balance theory and calculations, and getting the knowledge accordingly as well, assure you, you will qualify the exam. That is the right way to work out. Can you please reply me? Are you people with me? Are you getting the point of what I'm saying to you? That's the point. That is the point. Now, next point. Nothing else. It's only about the motivation for you. The very important thing is that hard working. And believe yourself. Believe yourself. Believe yourself. That's very much important. That you can do that. Someone says that the human brain and the word capacity don't match. There is no term the capacity about the human being. If you have a vision and you have a goal set to earn $10,000 per year, your brain will develop the strategy, will work out accordingly about the $10,000 per year. If you have a goal set to earn $50,000 per year, your brain will work accordingly. So it's not about the capacity. There is no capacity. There is no limit of capacity in the brain. That is about what is your vision. What is your goal? That's important. So believe yourself that you can attempt it. Even if any person wanted to search the Allah God, then he or she is able to search the God or Allah. There is no, no comparison. The AFM subject it's a man-made, no? It's nothing about that. So believe yourself that you can do that. So let's start. It's not about to talk more thing about that. It's about to start the thing. And where we are going to start the thing, we are going to start a thing with that particular exam question, and the very latest exam question of the AFM. And this is what about this one. Yes. I strongly suggest that you people must have to open that particular exam question as well. This one, this question, number one. We will work out with that question. And moreover, we will discuss the thing. One moment, please. I just locked the screen. Wait a minute. Yes, what we will do that simultaneously. Simultaneously, we will attempt that particular question based on the requirement, and simultaneously, this is what the examiner report. This is what about examiner report. That is the report of September, December 21. And we will work out that question. We will discuss the comment. We will discuss the comment as well. Let's suppose the very first comment before starting the question, the very first comment before starting that particular question. What is that question comment? Yes. This is what about the examiner requirement. If you are going to start it before starting the question, what the very first thing means, for example, you are going to attempt or simulate the exam question with yourself. So what the things should be in your mind, or you are sitting in the examination hall, that what's the thing should be in your mind. The thing that should be in your mind about the examiner expectation. What examiner expectation? This is a 50 marks question, which means 1.8 minutes per mark. And you have 90 minutes of the exam. Two important things. The very important thing. Number one, time management. Marks management. This is what about the marks management? This is 50 marks question. And number two, time management. Two things important. How to handle both these things we will discuss here. Marks management and time management means how much to write according to the marks. Number one, how much time we need to spend, that's time management. That is the point. Okay, it is important to allow yourself time for reading, writing, and checking your answer. So two things you have to do. You have to do read the question. Thinking means plan your answer. Before examiner mention, plan your answer. Ask yourself, have you attempted the question till now where you practice with the planning? If the answer is no, that is alarming, and you have to work out accordingly. Means examination hall, important thing is proper reading and understanding. Number two, thinking, that's called plan. And then once you check your answer with this 90 minutes and use the same weightings within each requirement of the question, ensure that you have opportunity to gain maximum marks across the question. Weighting means weigh your answer, balance your answer according to the marks. Don't spend too much time with one requirement. If you do that, if, for example, one requirement is 10 marks, so that means 18 minutes you have to designate. If you spend 25 minutes, you actually compromise other part of the question. And at the end of the exam, some of the marks remains and you are not able to attempt it 100% question. Okay, you should avoid temptation to expend your answer to one requirement beyond the allotted time. For example, that's very important. If examiner complaining here, some candidate spends too long question 1A, meaning that they reach the maximum marks allocation well before the end of their answer. That means you have, if you spend too much time, you actually got that requirement maximum marks, but compromising with other. This means that use time that should have spent answering the remaining requirement. Markers cannot allocate more marks requirement that is available, even if comment may otherwise worthy for marks. So in short, stick your allotted time and time spent considering quick answer plan may help you to answer on track. Time management, number one, and plan. Another important point here. What's the number one point? Candidates can discuss issues which may not appear in the suggested solutions. Means your model answer, it's not exhaustive. You can practice the things other than your model answer. So it's not compulsory that you are matching your answer, especially theory. Sometimes examiner mention with the model answer. Other relevant points makes also acceptable. So it's nothing about to learn something. It's about to apply your knowledge. Providing their arguments are logical and conclusion drive are substantiated. Then the marks can be awarded accordingly. Full marks require the application of relevant knowledge. Application means, what is the meaning of application? Application means application. Knowledge plus case. In AFM exam, whenever you write something within the case study or within the report, you have to, for example, synergy. So number one, knowledge means define or explain synergy. But if you stop, only write the knowledge, only the define or explanation of synergy, examiner called road learning. This is road learning. An examiner said that we have allocated the marks for the road learning, but we are expecting road learning plus connect with the case. That's called application. So for example, 3 marks question, 1.5 for knowledge, 1.5 for application. If you just stop with knowledge, you will not be able to get 100% marks, limited marks. So application of knowledge is very important. Moreover, conversely, no marks will be awarded for the reproduction of irrelevant knowledge and irrelevant issues. Reproduction means you just copy paste from case study to the solution. Copy paste only answer, it's having no marks, but copy paste can be relevant if you adding on something. Means you just copy the thing. For example, let's suppose you are working with this. The new project is to be funded by subsidized loan. This statement you copied it and then put here. But this having no marks until you connect something can be funded by the subsidized loan, but the company, but here the case, the company can use alternative and so on. So just copy the things from the case, it's allowed, but you will not be able to get the marks just copy paste. Means if you are just making a sentence or making the things accordingly, you can help from the case study. So that's the things mentioned by the examiner. So that is what about the journal comments. Specific, we will discuss accordingly. Moreover, one important thing. Yes. What about the professional marks? These are actually, I must say, what I say, that is free marks. These are free marks. These are free marks. You can just earn before the start of the paper. Just focus. I will support you, but first, what examiner says here. The professional marks are relatively easy to obtain, and vast majority of the students scored well. Why examiner not saying 100% of the students? If you really become under 40%, you must be part of that vast majority. Indeed, many candidates earned all professional marks available, but how? Have you practiced that? Which helped with overall quality of the answer of this question. As with previous session, the best response is split the bulk of the calculation into appendix. Split the bulk of the calculation. How we will be able to get professional marks? Number one, whatever the requirement by A, B, C, D, we have to mention the heading appendix. Show the suitable opening rubric, means headings, and provide a brief introduction and conclusion. So one by one, what the things we required? Appendix, format, headings, opening, ending, means report by, conclusions. You can get the professional marks. Means whoever taking the session live or whoever will take my recordings, the first thing, I have identified the 4 marks easily. How can you get it? Now, we have to put efforts remaining 46. 46 plus 4, 40. And you have to put effort something more, then you will be able to get distinction, inshallah. A small number of candidates ignored most, if not all, these criteria and therefore lost an opportunity to relatively easy credit. Okay, so are you getting the point? How you will earn the professional marks? Are you getting the mark? Are you getting the point? What examiner expectation to work out the appropriate exam? So that is the point. Furthermore, I'm going to take a break to you, but one thing I wanted to highlight. Yes, I wanted to read that particular area, one thing. Just taking 2 more minutes, then I will give the break to you. The conclusive remarks of the examiner. Overall, many candidates, come on, seems struggle with the later part of this question, possible due to the time management. Highlighting time management. Successful candidates were able to adopt a balanced approach. Successful candidates, what the successful candidates do? Balanced approach to their answer. Rather than focusing too much time one aspect of the question. Once again, it is worth emphasizing the importance of question under the time limits that apply exam essential of the candidates preparing the exam. The very important, what I say to you, that if someone asks me what are the most core important point to pass the exam, this line, it is worth emphasizing the importance of question practice under time limits that apply in this exam as an essential part of candidates preparation this exam. One word, exam simulation. Simulate your exam, these exams. simulate these exams. If you really qualify, if you really want to qualify the paper for the next 3 weeks, what to do? Simulate this one. That's examiner saying. Under time limits. This type of preparation will also help candidates to learn to take time to read the question and requirement, carefully to avoid wasting time and effort on points not being asked for. Do remember that reading of the question and planning of the question is an art. Is an art. I forgot to annotate. Can you, someone by mistake mention this annotation here? Can you please rub this annotation? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just a moment. Just a moment. Once again, Hamza, can you please, Hamza Akhtar, can you please? Okay. Okay, so reading of the question and the planning of the question, that's also an art. That's also an art. That is what I'm saying. That this type of preparation also helps candidates to learn the time to read, time to read the question and requirement carefully, avoiding wasting time and efforts on points that have not asked me. Okay. The best responses also demonstrate ability to apply the knowledge, to the scenario, which is essential skill for all strategic level paper. So candidates, that is what I have highlighted. The important points to you. What is the actual requirement or what is the right direction towards the success of the exam? Rest 23-24 days, next three weeks, your direction must be in a right way. I hope that this part of the session, it's really valuable for you to identify the right direction. Now it's time to apply all these things with a particular question. And moreover, I really appreciate and thankful to all of you people who support us for our charitable work by providing a donation to us. That donation will support to meet the requirements of the hunger in the Pakistan area of the Thar, and for some other purpose related to the medical reasons. These sessions have no cost but the human support, and thank you very much for all of your supports. It's no compulsion for any of you to provide that particular donations. Whoever provided us the donation, thank you very much. May God bless you a lot. We will use that fund to cover up the hunger requirements of the area of Pakistan and the province and particular district Thar, and the medical treatment purpose as well. Thank you very much. Take care a lot. And now take a 10 to 12 minutes break. And after that, we will discuss a particular question. And that question, yes, we will work out with that particular question. So thank you very much. 10 minutes, 15 minutes break from now. 15 minutes break. After that, we will start with working this. If you have any question, you can ask me, and I will really appreciate if you reply me a constructive feedback, the session that we have done till now on the WhatsApp group, relevant WhatsApp group. Thank you very much. We will discuss that particular question. Take a 15 minutes break. Thank you very much. Take care a lot. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, the second phase of the session, that's about this question. Our agenda to discuss with this phase of the session, the very core first requirement, the B requirement. Although today's agenda is to discuss a complete 50 marks question, but first the B part, the major core area of the question. But before starting that particular question, I'm going to discuss a very important thing with you. What is in my mind to discuss that particular question? What is in my mind? The very first thing is that we are entering a particular question that includes a topic, and the topic include investment appraisal. The topic called investment appraisal. Based on past experience, the exam scope with respect to the marks, if you cover up this course or this part of the area syllabus, the marks 25 with question, either the question 25 or 50 marks. Okay. The marks scope reflect to any part of the question, either 25 or 50 marks question. You people know very well that the AFM question nowadays from September 18 to onwards, it's not any of the question, either 25 marks question or the 50 marks question. It's not 100% related to one area of the syllabus. For example, investment appraisal. If examiner asks investment appraisal question, so here in examiner asks something, a major part investment, but another side examiner asks business finance. One side investment, other side finance. So I must say, if a question of 25 marks investment appraisal, I can say, or in the 50 marks question, 70 to 80% to 80% related to that area of the syllabus. For example, if the 25 marks question, 70 to 80% means 15 to 20% marks. Sorry, 15 to 20 marks out of 25 related to investment appraisal, but 5 to 8 marks related to other area of the syllabus. Same for the 50 marks question. For example, we are going to attempt that 50 marks question. The reality is that this is 50 marks question. 50 marks, A part. But out of 50 marks question, the A part related to 8 marks, that's discussed and justified. ZG company should address 3 financial strategy. So A part related to finance, 8 marks. But B area of the syllabus, major area, that B area of the question, that's a major area, 6, 9, 7, 10, 4, that's professional marks. So then 6 and 9, 15, 15, 7, 22, 22 plus 10, 32, 32 plus 4, 36. So 36 marks related to investment appraisal. Then C part. Then C part of the question. Then once again, compare and contrast should the future funding through debt finance or asset securitization. That's 6 marks. That means 8, 6, 14. 14 marks related to other area of the syllabus, that's finance, and 36 marks related to calculation. Oh, sorry, investments. So if I say 36 marks question out of 50, that's called 72% of the question related to investment appraisal, and remaining 28%, 14 marks means 28%. That's called other area of the syllabus. So that is how examiner examine. So always since September 18, not one question is belongs to 100% one area of the syllabus. That's a point number one. So this is what reality. So examiner examine multi-area syllabus in a question. Same pattern for 25 marks question. So that's important. So what are the particular topics includes here to cover the things? Candidates, can you please reply me once again? Is my voice, picture, all the things clear to you? That's good. Now, sir, what we need to focus for that particular area of the syllabus? Number one, I must say, you have to cover the NPV. The topic you have to cover that includes the NPV. The NPV, the basics of NPV from FM syllabus. That's very much important. The basics of NPV from FM syllabus. And even examiner examine the question as well with respect to the NPV matter. I must say, there are 2 questions you can work out accordingly. Number one, for NPV matter, you can work out from there. That's called Fenhurst. You can revise NPV, and you can work out with this as well, the Robson. With these 2 questions, you can revise or practice with the question, with the workout, with the topic. If I mention the YouTube video here, it means that the Robson question video already available. You can revise that particular from that particular question. You can, that's the point we have done already covered. So basic of the NPV, you have a good comment about the NPV, and you people know very well what the NPV include. The basic includes, I must say here, for example, complications related to inflation matter, you must have a good command. The basic calculations, you must not be, examiner have no tolerance about that. Tax complications. I must say that's working capital. That's a very basic points. You have to work out. Tax losses matter, examiner very common point, normally asked. You can revise these with these questions, the practice questions. You can cover accordingly the practice questions. Now, number one, the first thing. Number two, about this, The very important point here, the second important is, you people know very well, that's about APV, adjusted present value. What the topics you must have to cover with this APV aspect? You have a good command with respect to base case NPV. Base case NPV. You have a good command with respect to, if you work out with the base case NPV, you have to cover that with base case NPV, how to calculate KE ungeared. And by KE ungeared, you have a good revision with respect to either by CAPM or by Modlani-Miller proposition 2. You have a good practice about that, Modlani-Miller proposition 2. How to calculate the basics about cash flows as mentioned above. I mean, operating cash flows, I mean, taxations, all these things, all those aspects. Then number 2, financing side effect. Financing side effects. You have a good command with respect to financing side effects. Financing side effects include issue cost, financing side effects, and issue cost includes debts, equity. You have to work out, be careful, tax consequences. Number 2, the very important thing, tax shield. The working about the tax shield means tax advantage from the interest. You have to work out the tax shield matter, a very basic. Number 1, debts, either debts, normal debts or subsidized. Don't confuse the subsidized with the tax shield. Subsidized loan multiply by debt is not relevant. Interest rate. Interest rate, it's interest rate multiplied by debt is not relevant. Number 2, tax rate. And then the discount factors. Sometime annuity or simple discounted. You have a good command with respect to this case, either simple interest. You have a good command about that. Means is that a simple loan or compound? Compound interest. You have a good command about that. So number 1, this. Number 2, APV with these complications. Very important about the tax shield. Then subsidize loan value, like this tax shield value, subsidized loan value. subsidized loan. How to work out this subsidized loan value? Number one, subsidized loan, the amount of debts related to subsidized loan multiply by subsidized rate. Subsidized rate is equal to, in fact, subsidy. Subsidy means for that is normal cost of debts minus subsidized rate. For example, 10% is cost of debts, subsidized rate is 7%. So 3% 3% will be subsidy. That is the benefit. Number one, after tax. So 1 minus TR tax rate. 1 minus tax rate multiply by discount rate. Discount rate either simple discount rate or annuity. It depends how it's values. But do remember that this subsidized loan value is based on one line working. The objective is that subsidized loan means whatever the lower interest rate we are getting, these are our benefit. We have to calculate the benefit. That's called benefit, means long-term cash flows benefit based on discounting. That is present value of long-term benefit after tax. Be careful. If the benefit timings are 1 to 4, if the benefit timings 1 to 4 and tax is not delayed, that means one-liner calculations. I have to mention very important note here. If tax is not delayed, one line, one step calculation. Like above. If tax is delayed, 2 steps calculation. Two steps means we have to, at first step, subsidized loan multiply by subsidy, ignoring 1 minus tax, ignoring tax, and multiply by discount rate. And the second step, incorporating the tax matters. We will make a practice with this live session. Don't worry. Subsidized loan. This is what about a quick briefing about how the calculation of the tax matters. Oh, sorry, financing side effects. But very important thing here. Some important things related to financing arrangement, for issue cost and working capital. Number one, if examiner mentioned that issue cost and working capital will arrange from debt finance or from external sources, then you have to incorporate with external source. If examiner is silent, then take assumption internal source of finance. do remember the very important thing. The very important thing. This is always relevant. Issue cost and working capital always relevant. Always relevant. But the question is that should we incorporate the issue cost and working capital with the working of tax shield and subsidized loan? The answer is that if examiner is silent, then take assumption it's a part of internal source of finance. And if it's internal source of finance, not to incorporate with the calculation of tax shield and subsidized loan. But on the other hand, if examiner particularly mentioned that issue cost will arrange from debt finance, working capital will arrange from debt finance, then we will take workout. One more thing. If examiner is silent, it's totally our choice that either we consider as internal source of finance or external source of finance. It's total our choice. If you do with external source of finance, it's your wish. The answer will not be wrong. The answer will not be wrong. It's your wish. That's the key point. That's the key point. Are you getting the point? What I'm saying? In examination hall, always take easy assumptions. Always take easy assumptions. That is the point. Can you please reply me? Are you people with me? That is a quick review about the topic. Okay. Sir, this is a calculation review. Quick. Number one. Number two. If you want to make up questions, practice questions. Practice questions. The very important thing. Oh, I'm sorry. The Robson is actually the question of APV. And Hathaway is the question of investment appraisal. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Practice question. Fanhurst, September, December 16. You work up, have to make a revision for NPV, and you can revise with the Hathaway. Moreover, if you make a revision of the Robson, you can work out with my YouTube channel with this question. Moreover, I strongly suggest you have to attempt that question as well. Triple time. Triple time. That's important. Furthermore, the 50 marks question. The 50 marks question. These are 25 marks question. $50 marks integrated. $50 marks question. You have to attempt these questions. Yes. Number one, September, December 21, ZK company. I will attempt with this today's session. Number one. Number two, you have to attempt September, December 19, Okan question, and September 18, Washi company. I'm not promising you, but maybe possible I will discuss one of the question, either Okan or either Washi, but you have to attempt accordingly. That's important. Sir, only these two topics with respect to investment appraisal topic? No. Number three, third topic. Third topic. Adding. MIRR. Number one. Duration. Capital rationing. These are the topics. And for these topics, I strongly suggest a one question and advanced WAC. For this, I strongly suggest these questions you have to attempt. The very important question. River company. Number two, TISA company. TISA company. And number three, TISA company, that is December 12th. And don't ignore the topic capital listing. The top examiner examined only one time the whole history of AFM. That December 12th. December 12th. And I will add that particular question name here. Yes, Arbor. December 12th. Sorry. That's name June 12th. This is what a comprehensive structure. That's what you should do about this. I'm not giving you the briefing about the other topics that MIRR and other things, but you have to work out with your own because these are very simple questions. See, these are very simple topics. So candidates, I have reviewed some things with you. Can you please reply me? What is beneficial for you if something revised with you about the APV or other things? Is this document relevant for you? If it's not, then I will not make these type of documents in future for you. If you feel that it's not valuable for you. Can you please reply me accordingly? Okay, now it's time for the discussion of the question. Okay, I got it. Okay, now it's time to discuss that particular question. Come on. This is the question about. I hope that in your system, this question, it's already available to you. Now, I strongly suggest, first of all, you have to read this question.